Okay, today we're going to talk about the Art Nouveau period. The Art Nouveau period started in roughly 1890 and was very short-lived. It lasted until 1910. Started with the Victorian era, was all about flowers and big, beautiful patterns. After the Art Nouveau, they say silver went into mourning. It went very plain and shallow. I didn't really like the period after Art Nouveau, but after the flamboyance of Art Nouveau, there was a real backlash against it. Now, people would ask, what is Art Nouveau? It's a period when not only silver, but all types of art embraced beautiful forms. It did include flowers, it included beautiful women, it included waves, it included fish, it included butterflies, it included in many ways, aspects from earlier periods, all incorporated into one, and with a lot of Oriental and Japanese and Chinese influence. There were various sterling patterns made in the Art Nouveau style, and I think the great accomplishment of the Art Nouveau style period was Gorham's Martele. So, in 1896, Gorham wanted to try something revolutionary. They had gone to machinery in all their departments. They were having expert silversmith finish off the sterling, but they had the idea of let's take all the machinery out of a department and make the silversmiths make things with the most primitive tools and go back to making things completely by hand. And the name of this new line was Martele. Martele is a French term meaning handmade. They decided on a different silver content for this Martele line, and instead of 925 sterling, it was 950. 950 is a softer look. Anyway, it was a very high-end line. It was popular and had great success. It did take a lot of hours. It was pretty magnificent. They made a total of about 8,600 pieces between 1896 and the end in the 1930s. Unlike George Schiebler, where no great books have been written, two wonderful books have been written. One was Magnificent, Marvelous Martele, and the other one was Gorham's Art Nouveau Silver Martele. This book here by Mr. Pristo basically tells about every piece of Martele ever made. It tells who made it, when they made it, and how long it took and how much it cost to make the piece. It really is a wonderful book if you're researching Martele. So this last week, we got in a great piece of Martele, and I'm going to show that to you now. It's a sauce or gravy boat on a stand, and it's fun researching these things. So I went to the bottom, saw the Martele mark, then found a 3-letter digit over here, and I looked through the book and found out when it was made, who made it. It took him about 40 hours of labor to make this piece. The motif is really interesting. It's a big shell here, and then it's fish jumping out of the water on the side. Very unusual. It's part of a 3-piece fish serving set. There was a big tray with it. In Martele, there are some very serious collectors, and we enjoy selling Martele. They made a lot of tea sets, they made a lot of bowls, they made a lot of vases. What I look for And I think the good investable pieces are the pieces they made very few of. In the past, we had a paper knife that they made one of. We had some sherbet cups that they made 18 of. This gravy boat, they only made 7 of, so it is a very rare piece. Anyway, America was not the only one to make Art Nouveau. This week also we got in a wonderful punch bowl. This one was made in Scotland in 1901. It's got beautiful women along the top. It's got snails down below. The entire surface looks like water. I love the way the rim flows up and down. Nice gold wash, beautiful weight. The shapes of the handles also have a very distinct Art Nouveau look. To go with hollowware, they also came out with flatware. And it is very distinct. Probably the best known Art Nouveau flatware was Love Disarmed. Started in 1899 by Reed and Barton. A beautiful woman with a cupid with a little arrow by her side. In this pattern, by the way, they made more different pieces than any other pattern. It's still very sought after. One that's not as well known, but just as nice, is Raphael by Alvin. 6 different Art Nouveau women with flowers on the various pieces. Quite rare. We've never even seen a knife in this pattern, so very difficult to find. Unger Brothers was famous for their Art Nouveau patterns. They did a variety of patterns with women and children and cupids. This is the pattern du Vane with dolphins. The pattern that won the award as Best Art Nouveau Pattern was La Parisienne by Reed and Barton. It's all different flowers. One more magnificent than the next. A very interesting pattern is Labors of Cuba. It came out on the first day of the new century, January 1st, 1900. The original name was the 16 Labors of Cupid, and indeed, in each of the pieces, they are doing different labors. In this case, they're picking fruit out of a tree. So, anyway, Art Nouveau, very short-lived period, very well done period, and led to sort of a backlash with very plain silver. Thank you.